Hey, welcome. If you're starting an e-commerce business, there is one decision that matters more than anything else, and that is what product you choose to sell. Seriously, it's not just a small choice. It's the entire foundation that can make or break your whole business. So let's dive into why that is.
So let's just get right to it. What is the single most important decision you are ever going to make in your import business? I'll tell you what it's not. It's not your fancy website. It's not your marketing budget. Nope. It is the actual physical item you decide to sell. You know, the source material for this explainer just puts it perfectly. The product you choose to import is the foundation of your business. Everything, and I mean everything else, gets built right on top of that choice. If you get it right, you're on the fast track to success. But if you get it wrong, well, let's just say you're in for a very, very tough ride. So in this explainer, we're going to give you a super clear roadmap. First, we'll talk about why this decision is so critical. Then we'll get into the fun stuff, how to actually find a winning product. After that, I'm going to give you a simple 4-step playbook, and we'll wrap up by covering the common mistakes you absolutely want to avoid. Okay, first up, the most critical decision. We're about to break down exactly why this single choice has such a huge impact on whether your business is going to thrive or completely nosedive. Look, the stakes really couldn't be any higher. A great product choice, that leads to high sales, happy customers, and real sustainable growth. But a poor choice? You're looking at a garage full of unsold inventory, financial losses, and just so much wasted time and effort. The difference is truly night and day. So how do you make sure you end up on the good side of that chart? Well, that brings us right to our next section, finding your winning product. Think of what's coming up as your essential checklist for spotting a golden opportunity. These 5 factors right here, this is your guide. First off, market demand. You gotta ask, are people actually out there looking to buy this thing? Second, profit margins. I mean, after you pay for everything, is there enough money left over to make this whole thing worth your while? Third, competition. How crowded is the field? Can you actually stand out? Fourth, regulations. Be careful here. Some products need all sorts of complicated certifications. It's usually best to avoid those when you're starting out. And finally, shipping costs. Always remember this. Small, light, and durable products are so much cheaper and safer to ship. Now, if you follow those factors, you'll often land in some of these high-demand categories. Take electronics, for example. Things like smart plugs. Everybody wants them, and they're super easy to ship. Or home goods. They have consistent demand all year long, and there are a ton of little niches you can get into. And apparel, of course, gives you amazing opportunities to build your own brand. These are really great places to start your research. So where do you actually do all this research? Well, your toolkit is probably already open on your computer. You can use Google Trends to see if a product's popularity is going up or down. You can peek at Amazon's bestsellers list to see what's already a proven winner. Browse Alibaba to see what factories are pumping out, and of course, keep an eye on social media to spot those trends before they blow up. Okay, you've got the core principles, you've got the tools. Now let's get practical. We're moving on to the 4-step playbook. This is how you take a promising idea and turn it into a real, validated product you can actually sell. It's a simple but really powerful process that you can use over and over. Step 1, analyze the market using all those tools we just talked about. Step 2, research your competitors to figure out your unique angle. Now, step 3 is absolutely crucial. Test the market with a small order. Please do not go all in until you have proof people will actually buy it. And finally, once you've proven your product is a winner, then you evaluate and find the best supplier for the long haul. Now, theory is one thing, but let's see how this playbook actually works in the real world. To do that, I want you to meet Sarah. She's an entrepreneur who followed these exact steps. So, check this out. Sarah followed the playbook to a T. In her first week, she analyzed trends and saw that smart home devices were taking off. In week 2, she researched her competitors and found a sweet spot, a gap for affordable smart plugs. By week 4, she was already vetting suppliers. And then, in week 6, she did that critical test, a small order of just 100 units. The result? They sold out in 2 weeks. That was all the proof she needed. Sarah's story shows you the power of getting this right. But to be successful like her, you also have to know what not to do. And that brings us to our final section, where we're going to cover the common pitfalls. These are the 4 big mistakes that so many new importers make. First and foremost, and this one is huge, don't pick a product just because you think it's a cool idea. If you don't do the research to confirm that other people actually want to buy it, you're not running a business, you're just gambling. Second, please don't ignore your competition. If a market is already jam-packed with sellers, it's going to be incredibly hard for you to stand out and actually make a profit. You have to know who you're up against and what makes you different. Okay, number 3, and this one can sink you fast. Don't underestimate hidden costs. The price the factory gives you, that's just the beginning. You have to factor in shipping, customs duties, which are basically taxes on stuff you import, and then storage fees. If you forget these, they can completely wipe out your profits. And finally, a really practical tip, be smart about what the product is actually like. Fragile or supersized items are a logistical nightmare. They cost a fortune to ship, and the risk of them getting broken along the way is way, way higher. Especially when you're starting, stick to things that are small, light, and tough. All right, let's bring it all together into your personal action plan. Research that demand like crazy. Analyze your potential profit margins down to the last penny. Study what your competition is up to. Always, always test the market with a small order first. And finally, partner up with suppliers you can trust. That right there, that's your path forward. So we've covered the why, the how, and the what not to do. The playbook is officially in your hands now. So the only question left is, what product are you going to find?